And there we go. Welcome everybody to this very exciting meeting. We are very pleased to have with us Divya Seth Shah, who's also a dear friend of mine. And Divya is, I need to put my specs on to read about her, tell you about her. She's an accomplished actress and an environmentalist. She had a dream debut with India's first soap opera, which was called Hum Log. I think all of us have seen that. And then after that, she spent her growing years in Delhi doing theatre with renowned theatre groups like Tag, Mask, Stage Door. She was in the Shakespeare Society at Stephens. She was with Primetime Theatre. And we have also seen her and loved her in movies like Dil Dhadakne Do, The Accidental Prime Minister, English Winglish, and in serials like Darar, Dekh Bhai Dekh, Banegi Apni Baat. Divya is a passionate environmentalist and an animal lover, and she believes all human beings should live in peace and harmony with the environment, as we all should. Hats off to you for that, Divya. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and as we used to say in the olden days, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
Okay, so Divya, tell us, how has life been in lockdown for you? You live in Pune, you have a beautiful home. I know that. So just tell us, how has it been for you?
I've actually been quite philosophical about it because I always knew something like this would happen eventually. I just didn't realize it would happen in my lifetime. But I used to talk with my parents and my siblings and in our family that eventually the world is hurtling towards something like this because we have abused everything so much. So even if you believe that this is a laboratory-made virus, the fact remains that how did you have access to that? And how has the world degraded itself to such an extent that there is no hope anymore? And within days, the entire planet was affected. So, in Hindu mythology, or anybody who doesn't know, they used to speak of pralay, that the world will end with pralay. And as far as I'm concerned, I think this is the beginning of pralay.
And so what have you been doing during lockdown?
I, as you know, love my dogs and I walk them a lot and I take care of them. I have a lovely garden and I've actually kept myself very busy with yoga and walking. Fortunately, I live in a society where the society was closed during lockdown, but we could move around outside at certain times. And, I just don't despair. I just thought that this is the time to rally your forces and to see how you can help everybody else or yourself for that matter. So I did that. I actually didn't despair at all in both the lockdowns. The only thing I really missed was shooting. But so be it. The minute the lockdown got over, the next morning I left for Bombay. So I'm quite okay.
Yeah, actually. And you've been very busy after lockdown got over. You've been shooting quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm so grateful and so blessed for that, because I think to be a working actor is a very big thing. You can be extremely talented and extremely hardworking and have all the connections, but if you don't have work, then you are just at home. So to be a working actor, to be on set, to be recognized, and to have work which is visible to an audience is a very blessed thing for an actor.
Yes, that's true. That's very true. Now, Divya, tell us about your early life, your growing up years, your education, school, college. We all see you on TV and stage and all that, but I'm sure many of our members don't know where you started, your origins.
I used to live in Delhi. I went to the Convent of Jesus and Mary, and then I studied English at St. Stephen's College. And simultaneously, I kept doing theatre a lot. My mother had a children's creative theatre, and then I started doing amateur theatre in Delhi with almost all the theatre groups. As you know, there were such lovely theatre groups in Delhi at that time, and Kamani was the hub on weekends for everybody to come see plays. And it was quite a wonderful scenario at that time. We were learning, working, imbibing everything. And then I moved to Bombay because I got some work. And the television boom had just started because I had already done Hum Log while I had just started college. So I came to Bombay and I started doing a lot of television. For 10 years, I did a lot of television. In fact, when I got married and I was pregnant, I had 5 shows on air at that time. So they had to kill me in one, they had to end the show in one, the all kinds of things. And then I moved to Pune after my daughter started school, kindergarten. And I've been commuting. So I find it quite convenient. And I like the fact that I can come back to an environment like this after I finish work.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell us, how did your theater journey begin? I mean, we know that your mother, how has your mother been an influence in your life, especially as an actress?
She's actually the paramount influence in my life, not just as an actor, but as a human being, as a mother, as everything. So when we were children, she used to be doing theater a lot in Delhi. She was one of the founding members of a group called Yatrik. And the 3 of us, my siblings and me, we used to go with her to rehearsals for shows. We used to be the ticket checkers. We used to, help around, bum around, and wait in the wings and sit in the, in the orchestra pit. So for me, that feeling, that smell, that it's my comfort zone. I never had any doubt that I wanted to be anything else. I was very sure that if I didn't become an actor, even and the aim was to be a successful actor. The aim was not to indulge my own thing and say, I will do basement theater and all. I think that's with no disrespect to anybody else. Until an audience sees you, until an audience either appreciates you or critiques you, you cannot be called a successful actor. You must have visibility. And my mother taught me a lot of that. So from watching her doing plays, I understood this is where I want to be. This is the path I want. So, fortunately, I got a lot of training from her. Then I got a lot of training from our common guru, Barry John. And I learned on the job. I learned a lot of things on the job. So even though now, after so many years, I've been here for 36 years now. Hum log is 36 years this year.
Wow.
So I don't know a lot of the technical aspect. The DOP is all joke, because if they say left of camera and right of camera, I do this to them and they have to show me a hand. Technically, I don't know why you're taking it. I don't know. I just know my job. I just know I have to look a certain way. I have to know my lines. I have to get that character and personality across. And that's what I know how to do. And I stick to that. So I don't think I want to be a producer or a director or anything else. I just want to remain a working actor.
That's true. Okay, now you talked a lot about your mother. And so how is it? I mean, this has been going all about nepotism, etc., etc. So now, I mean, we, of course, to a certain extent, has it been advantageous being your mother's daughter? What are the advantages and disadvantages?
Huge. First of all, the advantage, like I say, is when you learn and come. You see the difference between somebody who's raw and somebody who's learned, the craft, at least the basics of the craft, and come. And initially, when I came, I never said I was Sushma Seth's daughter or anything, but everybody sort of knew. And then once an admin friend of mine said, you should tell people, at least they'll know your pedigree is right. So, but everybody already knew, because I had already done Hum Log, and there was a lot of publicity about the fact that I was her daughter and everything. I think what it did definitely was that I didn't have to do the rounds of producers' offices, which now actually nobody has to do, because the whole system has changed. And regarding nepotism, definitely your parents' name or your uncle's name can get you a foot in the door. But after that, it is your caliber, it is your talent, it is your hard work, which will move you forward. There are innumerable circumstances, innumerable examples where wonderful launches have happened for star kids, and they have died without anything after that. They've just fizzled out, because after a certain point, there is a lot of money at stake. There is a lot of time, and in the kind of industry we are in currently, no one has time to waste. And we certainly don't have money to waste after the last 2 years. So nobody is going to give you an opportunity if you are not worth it, if you cannot fit the bill, and if you're not hardworking. You're 5 minutes late now, I see people being ticked off.
Yes.
And I think that's wonderful, because people like us who are from the theater, it doesn't even occur to me to be late. It doesn't even occur. I have friends who were always late as actors, and now they become producers. They are there 1 hour before. They are palpitating if their actors are 10 minutes late. And I'm like, how'd you like them apples?
Yeah.
How'd you like them apples?
When it comes and bites you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And for people, I think this whole thing about nepotism has started off so much primarily because the fingers are being pointed at the film industry because it's in the public eye. Nobody says anything when a doctor's son becomes a doctor, or some
anything
industrialist,
else.
industrialist
You
son
build,
just out of college gets onto the board of some company for what?
Exactly.
For what joy? What are his qualifications? What is his experience?
Like you said, it's because we are so visible. We are so much in the limelight. The aspirational life of an actor or a director or a successful person in the filmmaking industry is something that people aspire to. But other people are more successful. It's just that we are in the public eye. So with all the accolades and with all the appreciation, we have to take all this that is flung in our direction and deal with it in a proper manner. I don't think everybody should get riled up about it. So it's okay. It's okay. It's a conversation which can be had. So it's no problem.
That's true. Yeah. And also you see the people who are making the film, they are making it for themselves. It's not some public service industry that they're starting, that they have to hold open issue a government tender that everybody comes in. If I want to make a film with you and I'm making it.
But see, the thing is, it might not be a government tender, and you don't owe it to everybody to open out the casting or the whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I do agree that there are a lot of avenues that need to be honed a little, that need to get a little fairer, that you don't need to hang around somebody to get work. Your work should speak for you.
Right.
Your work should speak for you. So that I think is important.
Yeah.
Have you popped off, or have I lost you? I can't see you anymore.
I'm very much here. You can't see me? Oh, you popped off now. You're back. Can you see me? And you're on mute. Wait, let me. Have you done it, or should I do it? Wait, let me do it for you. Hang on.
Yeah, done.
Oh shucks, sorry.
Okay, leave it.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Done. Okay. How do you feel theater has helped you as an actor, as a performer, as a human being?
Anybody who's done theater will know that. And I really, really believe it with all my heart, that every school, every educational institution, from the time a child starts their academic journey, they must have drama in school. What theater workshops and what drama does for your personality or for the honing of your craft, nothing else does. It reaches out into the recesses of your being and tells you the person that you are, good, bad, ugly, and gives you a chance to correct the things that might not be working for you for the rest of your life. But I really believe, and I hope our educational institutions and our governments make theater and drama mandatory in schools, because it's drama, music, dance is so vital. I think this trilogy is more important than any book that can teach you anything. It must be part of your curriculum, because what theater taught me, what it made me feel about myself, the confidence, the love, the security that these floorboards will carry me, is something that nothing else does. I long to be on theater again, but like the economics and the time factor in theater is very hard for people who are, on their journey now. But I am so grateful that I am a theater actor.
Yeah. You talk about, you see a lot of corporates have theater exercises as bonding exercises to teach them. Even when we were working with Barry, we had a separate arm of the theater group called TIE, Theater in Education. Yes. There was remedial drama. Yes. It's not just somebody standing up on stage and doing their lines, or especially as in India, we kind of dismiss it, saying nautanki kar rahe hain.
No. It like I said, it reaches out into the recesses of your being. I know people who used to stutter, who don't stutter anymore. I know people who were in depression, who are not depressed anymore. I know people who had now, which they call ADHD, which had no name earlier, which is just any child who it doesn't conform to your, timetable, supposed to have ADHD. But everything comes under. My daughter has just gone to college, and the first thing they're doing in the first week is theater exercises. They're doing team building exercises and trust and everything that you and I used to do before every play Barry used to make us do. That's an integral part of the beginning of an academic year. Make it part of your curriculum. Why can't it be part of your curriculum? It's so necessary. And you know, the kind of times we're heading for, where so many children are being diagnosed with depression and other problems. This is your solution to everything. I really believe that. It is really your solution. Get drama and music and dance in your schools and see the difference in your children. And not as an after-school activity, but as part of your curriculum.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so now, as I mentioned earlier in the introduction, you had a dream break in the very first TV soap of India, Hum Log. Tell us about that experience. How did it come about? What was that whole thing like?
So it's now 36 years of Hum Log, which is huge. I mean, it's just huge. I had just finished school, and my mother was already cast as the Dadi, and she came home and she said, you know, you're just going to sit around in the summer holidays. They're looking for somebody to play the middle daughter. Why don't you go meet them? I was like, but she said, just go meet them. I walked in, and the director and the writer, they were sitting over there, and they looked at each other and said, Mil gayi. We found her. So I did Hum Log at that time. There was no concept of a 3-camera setup, of an air-conditioned floor. We used to drive to outside Delhi, which is now Gurgaon, and that was the only built-up thing in this mass of jungle. We used to drive there every day, and we used to record 1 episode a day. And as a family, we all became very close. It was cast so well that everybody fit their bills. And we didn't realize what a humongous success it would become. You know, we used to get sacks of mail and everything. At that time, I didn't give it so much importance. In fact, when everybody used to refer to me as the character, I used to get a little, you know, yeah, I've done more work and all. But now I realize what an honor it was. And it was so historical.
Truly, yes. Because at that time, the whole concept of a soap didn't exist in India. So this was the very first thing, and it was truly a landmark in Indian television, and content-wise also.
Manoj Shyam Joshi, who was the writer, was just a crackling genius. He could enact all the parts he wrote. He could enact my part. He could say the lines the way this girl should have said them. He was so smart, it was not even funny. And our director, P. Kumar Vasudev, was such a lovely, gentle man. You know, I used to come to him and tell, can you finish my scene first? I have to go to a party. And he would be like, okay. He was such a lovely, kind man.
Yeah. No, and was it a conscious decision to have a kind of a social message behind the thing, or?
I think the genesis of Hum Log from the Ministry of, Culture and the Information and Broadcasting Ministry actually was the mummy and daddy of it, was that we should do something which Indian audiences and the middle class can identify with. That's why each character is different. Everybody should tell us, I have this Lalu's in my house. Oh, I have a sister like Majli. You know, like there was always, and the elder sister not being able to get married, and the father being a drunkard, and the identification of the characters was so huge that I think that struck such a strong chord with everyone, and that really played a big part in its success.
Yes, definitely, that was true. And then, how did you feel coming to Bombay and the kind of work you did later on? What did you feel a great difference between that, and also part of this question, what do you feel about television then and today?
Okay. Yeah, coming to Bombay, of course, was a very conscious decision. And also I came with work in hand. So I didn't come feeling like, I have to go look for work. I had got 2 offers already. And I fortunately had a place of my own to stay in Bombay. So, the roughing it out was sort of smoothened out. But of course, it was a completely different setup, so professional, so quick, so fast. There was no time to, make mistakes or anything. And I just hurtled for 9 years, literally, from 1 to 2 to 3 to 40, 30, 40 shows and things like that. And television content on Indian television 20 years ago was wonderful. The writing was so intelligent. We had I worked with directors like Lake Tandon and Ravi Rai, and they were just lovely people, and they wrote their scenes and they wept while they wrote their scenes. And I think what's happened in the last 20 years is that the catering to the demand of the public is far more superior than the quality that is going to be produced. And I think some middle ground must come, because I don't even listen to people now when they call and say, there's this. I'm like, is this for television? I'm like, not interested. Because now, fortunately, we have this lovely big behemoth of the web, and the scripts that are coming out and the genres that are being made are just so wonderful in that. And you can pick and choose. You can actually pick and choose, So I think that's quite lovely. I'm enjoying it thoroughly.
One thing you said, that catering to the audience, do they really want that? I mean, the fact is, if you look at something like Hum Log, you look at something like Mahabharat and all that was there in those days, and the wonderful serials that we did, that like you did Darar, I did Farman with Lake Tanda.
Yeah.
So many beautiful serials. They were also super hit serials and people loved them. So won't people like those kind of things today also? Do they really want?
So what's happened now is the production value is supreme. It's just superb, the production value, your sets and your lighting and your camera work and your costumes and your makeup and everything. But the content has sort of diluted itself and actually become quite gross. It's catering to the base instincts of people, women fighting with each other and, things being stolen. It's just awful. And I think it's disrespecting your audience. But I can sit on my chair and say that I'm not a producer. If I produce something and I have to call in the shots, then I don't know what I'll do. I don't know what I have to cater to. I don't know what brings in the most revenue. I don't know what the channels want. So, it's very well for an actor to say, I won't do this. But as producers, like in a shop, you have to have all kinds of things because you have to cater to everyone. So there is something I might think is really ugly, but somebody else might walk in and think, and it's gorgeous and that's what they're looking for. So I think in that vein that they have to make, because I know a lot of makers who still make for television. And when I have this conversation with them, they're like, when you're a producer, you'll know what we're talking about, that you can't just keep battling it. And there are a couple of very big producers in our industry who are doing this base stuff also, but the revenue and the reputation and that they get from that, they are making stuff which is worth its content. So I think it's a very fine line, but you have to juggle it.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yes, I've had this conversation with producers also, that, and especially people who started out with what we call good content.
Yeah.
And then they say, as their popularity increase, you get caught in the web of your own popularity, and you have to keep catering to that. That machine demands that from you, and you have to follow that.
So they don't have the luxury of saying no. They have the luxury. I know I've done so many shows. I did a show called Roshni, which was about doctors and medical ethics. I did another show about something else. And it starts off with the producers going, this is what we're going to make. And within 4 months, there are no TRPs. Nobody's watching them because they don't want this. They want drama, and they want, fights, and they want love connections. They don't want their brain to think. They don't want to discuss ethics or morality. They want to watch some drama. They want to watch tamasha. And we started catering to that, but it wouldn't work in there. And we wrapped up in 6 months. And it was such a tragedy because we were quite a phenomenal cast. And you should have seen the set. I was calling all my doctor friends to say, come and see my hospital set. You will just get blown away. There was oxygen coming in the pipes and all that. But what are they going to do? They went into huge losses. So it's, we can't tell producers, we can't sit on a high horse and say, oh, this is not good. This is not good. We have the luxury of saying, I won't do this. I don't think I fit in there anymore. But I'm sure they know why they're doing it. So.
That's true. Yeah. Even I've had this experience in a show that started off very reformative, and we will change the way everybody thinks, etc., etc. And then the letters came pouring in, saying, we don't agree, your heroine is like this. And suddenly they changed the entire track of the show.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, hello, this is not what I signed up for.
Yeah.
But we became one of the most popular shows with that ridiculous story track, so it's crazy. You really don't know.
It's great. I mean, been there, done that. I don't think
exactly. Been there, done that. Yeah. Well, also, what do you think about this format that has now come out? Now the OTTs, you find the web shows on Netflix and everything that anybody says, oh my God, this is like so many seasons. They say, oh God, I don't want to watch it. It's 8 episodes. Okay, great, I'll watch it. Whereas earlier it was a badge of honor that we went on for 200 episodes. Our series carried on for so long. Have people run out of patience, or is it a different kind of audience?
Not patience. Attention span of human beings is that of a gnat. This mobile phone has made my attention span is of a gnat. I can't hold forth for more than an hour. I don't want to be anywhere for more than an hour. Our brains are evolving into beings who can't cope with more than that. Attention span is so short. It's primarily for that. And the minute that gets its viewership, you get a season 2. But I've done a show where season 2 was already assigned and signed for in season 1. But because it didn't get that kind of viewership, we're not doing season 2. So, everything is about the audience. And I think because of the 2 years that we've lived through of the pandemic and now endemic, that I'm not sure whether big movie halls are going to really work anymore. I don't think I want to go see my own movie in a big movie hall.
Yeah,
I'll see it in the preview, but I'm not sure I want to do that, where earlier I used to do that. Take a whole posse of people and go watch my movie and stuff like that. But I want the luxury of sitting in my home and watching it on my big screen, and that's it.
Yeah, that's true. Yes. Okay, I'm going to show some photographs. Divya, there's a slideshow that one has collected a whole bunch of pictures of you. Some you have sent me, some are from my theatre collection of you and me. Before I should tell everybody that Divya and I were in theatre together for a long time. Okay, and if you want to tell us about any of these pictures as we go along, please do. Okay. Oh, how lovely you look.
That was in English. This is The Married Woman, which I just did.
Okay.
And this was 30 years ago. This was 30 years ago.
You look just the same, Divya.
Oh, how nice. This is from Hamlo.
That's also an old one. I've known you for a very, very long time, Divya.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is from theatre. This is from Godspell. And the one I showed, the one you showed just before this is from my mother's theatre group. I must have been 11 years old over here. And it's not the first time I played a cat.
That you were the cat and I was the fox.
Yes.
So, that's the two of us.
And that's Pinocchio.
Yes, Pinocchio. And why isn't this changing? Yeah, there we go.
Oh my God. I have no idea what I was doing over here, but I'm obviously doing some.
No, don't you remember this? This was the play, The Pied Piper in Hindi. So we're protecting
in Hindi.
Yes, Chuha.
Yes.
The flag over there says Chuha, Chuha. So we are taking out a morta saying Chuho ka nash karo. So that you and me look at our old-fashioned salwars.
I know. And look at
we thought we were so fashionable.
Aage chalo. Okay, this is Catch Me If You Can.
Catch Me If You Can. Yeah, Barry.
Yeah.
This is Lend Me a Tenner.
Lend Me a Tenner.
Yes, these are all plays we did with Barry John. I don't know which one this is.
That's Atiya. This the one? I forget its name now.
I don't know. Anyway, one of the plays. This is
and that's Manoj and Ben and
this is Manoj Bajpai, who was in our theatre group. That's Divya. That's me. That is another very well-known actor, Rituraj. All of us theatre buddies. This is
that's Shah Rukh and me in Rough Crossing.
Yeah, it was a really interesting, funny play.
So much
and
fun.
This is the last.
It is the finale of Rough Crossing.
The finale of Rough Crossing. Again, a whole bunch of familiar faces.
And Sonjoy helped me zip this dress up in the wings.
This is the actor Rituraj. This is Shah Rukh. This is Divya, Benny. This is another very well-known actor, Amar Talwar, and that is me. And we're doing the finale of the play.
Oh my God! Look at that.
Baghdad Ka Gulam, which was the Hindi version of A Servant of Two Masters, directed by Barry John. Now, in this play, Divya is disguised as a man, and this is the guy who I'm in love with, but then Divya asks for my hand, pretending to be a man, and then she's telling me, no, I'm not a man. Please believe me in the next one. And she says, yeah, see, I'm not a man.
What fun.
I know. Oh, why isn't this changing? Hang on. Yeah, there we
This
go.
is Hum Log. This is my first day of shoot.
Oh.
This is the first day of shoot of my life.
Oh, wow.
This is the first episode of Hum Log. And that's the Hum Log family.
The Hum Log family, Seema, Bhargava. This is
Vinod Uncle, Joyshri,
lovely.
Rajesh ji, Lahiri ji, who's now no more, Abhinav, Lavleena, my mom, and me.
And Divya here. This is Divya. And that's you. Day by day.
That's day by day. This is Irfan, who we lost last.
Yes, very.
This is Banegi Apni Baat. This is Adhikar. This is Adhikar.
You've done a lot of work with him, huh?
Yeah, this is Sparsh. That's
Sparsh. Yeah.
This is Rishi ji also.
This is recently. Yeah, he passed away.
He was such a lovely man. He was such a lovely
actor. How sad.
Yeah.
And this is your mom and Rishi Kapoor.
So my mom has played mother to Rishi Kapoor in some 50 films or God knows how many films. And once when we were in the market, these bangle sellers said, "Arey dekho Rishi Kapoor ki mummy." I said, "Nahi, meri mummy."
Change. One second, it's getting stuck. That is your mom.
That's my mom and me.
The amazing Sushma Seth.
Yes.
And that's
my daughter and my mom and me.
This is
Jab We Met.
Jab We Met. Yeah, you played Shahid Kapoor's boss in that.
Yeah.
No, mother.
This is Patel Ki Punjabi Shaadi with Veer. Kitna chota. This is just now City of Dreams. We just released 2 weeks ago.
On what is it there?
Disney Hotstar.
Disney Hotstar. We'll see that. Okay, these are.
This is Sandwich Forever.
This is the Accidental Prime Minister, in which Divya played. Anupam Kher has tweeted this, introducing Divya Seth Shah as Mrs. Gursharan Kaur, wife of Honorable Ex-Prime Minister of India.
Yes.
Look at the transformation. And this is a very interesting picture I got from
very
your
interesting, na?
How they transformed you
blew me away.
With prosthetics. Look,
there are no prosthetics.
No prosthetics. Oh,
there are no prosthetics.
Oh, wow.
I didn't want prosthetics. I wanted them to do makeup. The wig is what actually changed everything. And then I said, now leave it to me. And I changed my whole body, and I changed my chin, and I changed my voice. And that's what I did.
Okay, so from this, we get this. Amazing, amazing. What a transformation. But then that actor is, no? You become the part.
This is Sandwich Forever, which was so much fun. So, for the last 2 years, a lot of common theatre director friends of ours, Deepika, have been telling me, when are you going to do a play now? Why can't you do a play? Because for me, from Pune to Bombay, to live somewhere for 6 weeks is very hard. Even if I want to do shows. So we're trying to figure that out with others.
And this is the picture.
This is from Patel, Sardar Ka grandson.
And a few months ago, we had Kuku sir on as a speaker also.
Kuku Papa. I call him Kuku Papa.
Kuku Papa, Kuku ji. This is your mom again, and this is your mom and your daughter.
The 3 of us. And this is my husband, my daughter, and me.
And that's your two.
And my goonies. Now these are all my dogs.
These are your other dogs.
Yeah, look at him posing.
Yeah, so cute.
He's a real poser. A pet photographer flew in from Delhi a couple of days ago just to take pictures with him and me.
Oh, wow. You were telling us something before I interrupted you. Somebody said, why don't you do theater and use
So I was like, I would love to, but how do we work out the logistics of this and the finances of this and all that? And then Sandwich Forever happened literally the week after lockdown. It was like doing a play. Because we were reading, blocking, rehearsing, shooting. Reading, blocking, rehearsing, shooting. And 2 months went by and we did 15 episodes. And I was like, kuch aur hi mang leti, play chahiye tha, play aa gaya. And there are 15 episodes on Sony Live, and they're all that much time. And that's how we worked on it and shot it.
Yeah,
it was just like doing theater, but with a lot of money.
Yes. That is the only problem with theater. All of us, I mean, everybody who I have called, so many actors, I mean, people who I know are in any case from the theater. Everyone says theater is my first love, but...
no, I won't say that. Theater is not my first love. Acting is my love.
Yes. Okay.
So I will go wherever you want me to act. And as long as it's, and I don't want more money than I'm worth, but I want as much as I'm worth. It can be any platform. It can be theater, television, web, film, YouTube, but you pay me what I'm worth and I will go anywhere you want as long as I can act. Acting is my first love, not any one medium.
Yes, but then, I mean, it is, the point is that it's not fairly compensated. A guy playing King Richard in a film and playing King Richard on stage, I mean, especially in India.
Because
like in India.
Yeah, no, and because the viewership is not that much. And unfortunately, because of the 2 years that we've had, I hope it's not a twilight industry, you know? Because to resurrect something like that, as it is, you're just managing, you're just skimping through. And then to resurrect something like this after the years we've had is very hard. It's very hard. It's so, I look at it like evolution. तो कुछ और बनेगा उससे. The minute you throw people into a crisis, it evolves into for that time and that era. So I'm hoping for that.
And I'm hoping that it all comes back with a vengeance, because like London is opening up huge and they're planning these huge mega shows and mega.
But you see, they were already like that. We were already struggling.
Yes.
In every city, the theater groups are struggling to fill houses. So it's going to be very hard to convince audiences that you need to come to a packed auditorium and pay this much money and watch me. Abroad, at the West End and in, it was completely different. It was anyway a cult. It's like the people who go to the opera and to the theater abroad, it's a cult. It's a completely different set of people, who don't care about films and television. They are theater goers. Not in India. Not in India. It's a handful.
Yeah. In our audience, we have a whole bunch of opera lovers who are diehard opera goers. So, and whenever something comes to Bombay, everybody flocks there. They watch it on screen. And yes, let's just hope we all come through this.
Yes, I'm sure we will.
Yeah. Okay. So now, Divya, you are always so beautifully put together. You're so graceful, so elegant. And I've known you for so many years. You have your unique style of dressing and presenting yourself. So what is your fashion mantra? Do you have anything you've gone off? Your camera has gone off, by the way.
No, I don't know how call came. I blocked it.
You're back. Stay as you are. So what is your fashion mantra? And especially for women of a certain age, our age and above.
Yeah.
How do you feel we should deal with this thing that the media keeps throwing to us, the pressure to look young, the pressure to dress and look a certain way?
I don't want to look young. I want to look good. I don't want to be thin. I want to be healthy. This is what I decided 10 years ago, that this is what I'm going to aim for in the next 10 years. I want to look a certain way. I want to be a certain way. I want to feel a certain way. And I want to continue working for as long as I can. So I made it a point. I do yoga. I eat right. I'm a strict vegetarian. I don't compromise on that. I have no FOMO, which means a fear of missing out. So I will not go anywhere where anything is compromised for me. If I can't eat, or I can't be in a safe place, or if there are too many people, or if it's going to get all-nighter and it's not fun for me, I don't compromise on that at all. I love myself. I take care of myself because I'm an actor and I want to be a healthy human being and a healthy woman. Our body goes through all kinds of changes, things that fit and looked well on us 10 years ago don't look well on us right now. I don't want to wear things over my knees. It doesn't work for me as my body and as my age. And the age is my perception. That is my perception. If somebody my age wants to wear it and carries it off, that's completely up to them. I don't decide how I want to look depending on what other people are doing or looking like. I think that's my biggest advantage. I do what I like. When I look in the mirror and I like it, then I'm happy. I don't need endorsement from anyone. I think that women must achieve They must accept that what they see in the mirror is so beautiful. What they see in the mirror is them. Definitely make a difference to your hair and your skin and your sense of style and your dressing. But that all comes from confidence and from self-love. And I think that's very important. I always tell all my girlfriends, love yourself first. I eat before everyone else. I have never understood the concept of, no, I'm very hungry, but I'm waiting for my husband or I'm waiting for my child. I eat when I'm hungry. I have times 12:30 and 6:30. You want to join me? You join me. Otherwise, I will eat. And I'll sit with you when you're eating. But I will not eat later than that. So I think I love myself the most. And I think that shows.
Yes, absolutely. And you're a great yoga buff, aren't you?
Yes.
It's
my mother introduced me to Goa, I was saying. My mother introduced me to yoga about 35, before I left Delhi. So about 30 years ago. And I've just continued it completely. Now I've just tweaked it a bit. Apart from yoga, I have a fitness trainer also. I have a physiotherapist also, because I want to catch if there are any problems beginning, heel is hurting, the physiotherapist checks out why is it hurting. And I have a trainer because I think muscles need to be built on after a certain age. So your muscles don't get weak. So I continue my yoga and I do fitness and I walk a lot and I drink water and I eat lovely vegetarian food.
Aha. Okay. And that brings us to the next thing, which is your love for animals, your love for the environment. You're a passionate crusader for animal and nature rights. So tell us a little about that.
I believe that energy is very present and energy transmits and it gets reflected back on you. It's very simple. If you keep your circle kind, that's how you will be treated in your sphere of work, your home, your city, your environment. I don't understand how the human race can continue to cull and abuse, and not just for food. That was a completely different scenario. But human beings are culling other species because it's inconvenient for us. We need that space of land, or we want to eat whale blubber, or we need something which increases our libido. I think that's absolutely appalling. And I really, really believe that the crisis the human race is in is because this is what we've done to other species. We have made the supreme mistake of thinking we are more powerful than Mother Nature. We have made the supreme mistake of thinking that we can overtake nature. We can't. We are nothing. We are 5 minutes in the evolution of this beautiful earth. And the earth will go back to being its original way after the human race has gone extinct. And if we don't wake up and realize right now, look at the floods, the fires, the typhoons, the cyclones, the landslides. Isn't it a sign, a huge banner saying, stop, what you're doing is wrong, what you've done is enough. Stop breeding more human beings, stop cutting down trees, stop culling other species, just stop, breathe. We have so much, be happy with that and allow other species to revive. With their revival is our survival. If they're not around, neither will we be.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, and this corona has also been, as you said right at the beginning, it's been a total wake-up call for the earth. Yeah. Okay, ladies, if anybody has any questions, you can put them on the chat. We already have one question. What do you think of censorship of content on OTT? Yes, that is a big one. What do you think of censorship of content on OTT? Censorship. It's a big thing now. Every second.
Yeah. So honestly, when the web series started, and I was like, oh my God, what fun! Oh my God, they're saying this, they're doing this. Then, even as an actor and as somebody who's part of this industry, I found a lot of things which were not necessary. I found a lot of things which were like, why did they put this? So you're looking over your shoulder. In India, television is watched with the family, with the servant putting the dinner on the table. So if you're going to have nudity and you're going to have people make, in bed together, in expanses, it's not going to work. And sooner or later, the government will come down. In our country, that's how it works. So keep it erotic, but it doesn't have to be so base, because it doesn't work. So I don't know how they're going to manage this censorship. And I knew it was going to happen, because it was just getting overwhelming, the vulgarity and the nudity. And so now all the, actors have clauses that, I'll show this arm, but I won't show this. And I'm like, do I need to read this contract? So I just temper it down, because the content is so brilliant. The stories that are coming out, and they're just lovely. I don't think we should just push it too much.
No, but then also what has happened, like a lot of serials that are being made, OTT shows, which have some political content, or where you show something about some religion or something, political things. So the point is, the truth is there. Like some shows were cases were filed because there was something about caste, something about religion, but it's not.
So in India,
what was shown was wrong. It is actually happening.
Yeah, that's
the fact is that people didn't like to see it shown on TV. That's it.
In India, I've realized people are waiting to be offended by something. So you're waiting to be offended by religion, by politics, by color, by gender, by whatever. People are just waiting. Whatever you make, there's always going to be somebody who says, this is not correct. And it's like everybody's 10 minutes of fame with no grounds at all. But it's such a harassment for the makers, for the actors. And people must realize the time and the money and the effort and the love we put into things we make and shoot and edit and dub so easily. Oh, this is rubbish. Oh, this is not acceptable. Why can't you face the truth? This is what is happening in this country. The cities might have evolved, but the villages have not. They have not evolved. And the sub-cities are definitely not evolved, because they have sprouted without any jurisdiction. They have sprouted without any surveillance. So the kind of gundagardi, or the kind of arms, or the kind of harassment that goes on in these places is something that really needs to be talked about. And it'll be a terrible thing to put a censor on that, because the truth has to come out somehow, somewhere.
And there's also the question of who will censor the censor. Just because it offends you doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah. So then aisa nahi hona chahiye that the censorship, the head of censor is somebody you can send a aam ki peti to and he passes it. Jaise purane zamane mein hota tha.
Excuse me, I don't have a question, but I need to just tell Divya. I remember I'm also a Delhi girl. I was with Deepika in school in Loreto, Divya, but I remember seeing your lovely mother, the Doyen of Indian theatre, on stage in so many plays at Triveni and Kamini Auditorium. I don't even know if they exist right now. Yeah, so it's lovely and you look gorgeous, beautiful.
Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, lovely ladies, for having me, and thank you for listening. I can talk endlessly, trust me.
Yes, I know that. I don't even
I can talk endlessly. And don't get me started on the environment and animals. You won't be able to stop.
Thank you so much. Amazing meeting.
Thank you so much. It was
Thank
so
you,
nice.
Divya. Lovely
Really,
meeting.
very
Lovely
good meeting. You're gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
Lovely meeting. Thank you. Lovely person.
Lovely meeting.
How kind.
Thank you so
Bye,
much.
Deepika. Thank you, Deepika, for having me.
Bye. Thank you.